think I had a similar experience and trajectory when it came to physical fitness. It's almost like you first needed to find endurance to find yourself, and then you needed to step away from endurance to find yourself again. And I think I had a very similar experience when it came to fitness as well, because I think something that doesn't get talked about enough is how these personal development and these very just naturally good things when it comes to being physically fit and endurance activities and all these great accomplishments, like, yes, like all great things that can really transform who you are as a person. But like that development doesn't necessarily mean that like you're taking care of yourself, or like I always say, like personal development isn't necessarily personal well-being, where it's like we have things like drinking and drugs and gambling that obviously are like can become very bad addictions. And like if you see somebody doing those things in excess, like it's easy to see like on the surface and be like, hey, like that person has a problem. When it comes to endurance, running marathons, working out, being very fit, being very motivated, being very disciplined, you're going to praise that person 100% of the time. Like, wow, like look at how much that person's incredibly doing. But like, you don't see like potentially underneath the surface, well, is
Right.
that person doing it from a vantage point and a headspace of almost like an addiction, of like they're
Right.
trying to block themselves off, or they're just like going after those endorphins and that high. So it's challenging to for other people to see that, and it can be challenging for the individual themselves to be transparent with themselves and be like, I need to step away from this. So I really find that fascinating how you said like my challenge to myself was I'm not going to do endurance, where it's like for people who are really fit and stuff, like it's not hard to do this stuff. Like it's not hard to get up in the morning and do workouts, like what most people are like, oh, like that's really hard to do. It's like, no, like the hard thing is like, okay, I need to step away from this because that's actually going to help me evolve as a person more.
Right. So how did your journey evolve with fitness and realizing?
Well, I was different from the perspective of I was unwillingly taken away from it. I had a really bad injury, and it was like, okay, like I just can't work out. And so that forced me to evolve and transform in different ways, where I think I used fitness a lot of the times when I was younger almost like as a coping mechanism. Like, yes, I loved like working out and loved getting fit, but it was almost like, oh, like I'm not going to deal with that. Like, let me just go get a workout in because it'll make me feel better, and like it just won't be a problem anymore or whatever. Like that is not healthy. That's where I'm getting from the standpoint of like, yes, like on the surface, like, wow, like he works out a ton, but it's like, yeah, but like maybe it isn't like helping me in all senses, because it's like I'm not sort of dealing with things in my life that, I should be navigating more. Or I just became so consumed by it that like, yes, it helped me develop, but like it's keeping me down in other ways. So I was not from the standpoint of like, all right, willingly, like I need to take a step back. It was almost like you don't have a choice. Like you're in this pain, like you can't work out. So it's like, so I didn't work out for like 7 months. And within that time, obviously, a lot of time, energy, and headspace was shifted away from me working out and being into the gym, where I was like, okay, I have all this time in my hand now to evolve and transform and focus on different things in my life. And I would have never done that willingly. Like I would have absolutely never done that. So that's why I said like getting into the gym really helped me when I was younger. And then in that time where I was getting out of the gym, like helped me even more. So it was like that two pronged approach of like I needed to get into the gym, get all the benefits when I was younger. And then
Right.
it's like, okay, like I have this now, and now I need to step out of that environment while still being able to embody all those things that have helped me, but then taking that into a different avenue.
Right. Interesting. So where are you at now?
Back to working out, but like you, similar, like just like a higher level of consciousness, with it, and just like it's just coming from a totally different headspace of working out. Um, so it's really an evolved approach, which I think is so fascinating for you as well. That like you're doing these endurance activities not from like when you were originally doing it when you were younger, but it's just a much more evolved approach of doing it.